Hey, how's it going out there, all of you? Welcome to Geeks on Trial Sidebar.
I thought we agreed that I did the intro for these.
Nope.
Also, you did a Mario impression?
My voice is just pitchy.
Woohoo! Hey, welcome to Geeks on Trial.
A sidebar.
And yours was racist. We are going to answer a question from the wheel right now. That's what we do.
Weird.
Give it to us. Give it to me, baby. Oy vey, oy vey.
Yeah, that's the real version. I mean, technically, I did the opening. You should have reached over and did the wheel.
I could have.
Okay.
Love that sound.
Where's the best? Oh, what were the best and worst books you had to read in high school?
Okay.
What were the worst and best books you had to read in
Your
high school?
favorite, or suppose you say your favorite or least favorite books that you read in high school.
Is that what it says there?
Oh, I suppose you could say. No, you're right. Best or worst.
I read what's on the teleprompter.
You're like Ron Burgundy. I understand.
Yes.
Well, I guess the important question is: did you read any of the books you're supposed to read in high school?
But probably. But I get them confused between like
if it's college or middle school, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can blur the lines because it depends on school districts probably too.
But also depends. Like a lot of our school, like, did you guys have yearly? Were most of your English classes reading books?
Were most of my English classes reading books?
Because you went to a private school for high school.
You don't need to tell people
You
that.
fancy boy.
No, come on.
I slummed it and went to a public school. My shoe should not be in the shot. And
I didn't like any part of that.
by a public school, I went to I think New Jersey's biggest public school.
It was just you found somebody around back and he
No, I went
had
to
a
a
chalkboard.
Publix for school.
Oh, public school. You learned how to make those chicken sandwiches.
Chickens. Do they make? I don't know.
I think
I'm
they
sure
have
they do.
subs and
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I guess I suppose most of it was based around reading literature.
Interesting, because for all 4 years of high school, it was a different thing. So like freshman year of high school was
I don't know what this means.
Shakespeare.
Okay.
So I think sophomore year was like writing and more like less around reading and stuff. Then there was English lit, which was like American
classics.
Yeah, American authors. And then senior year was basically just here's how you write the perfect college essay to get you out of this building. So like we didn't have summer reading in high school either.
We did have summer reading a couple times.
I think we did in middle school. That was more of a middle school thing. But yeah, we didn't it wasn't like we didn't do like not book reports, but we didn't have like here's your assigned reading and reading aloud. That was like a specific year in our school.
Weird. No, we definitely were interchanged. Most of it was reading books. Even because I did 1 year of AP English. I wasn't really good at it, but even that was still like we would do essay writing, but it was pretty much all about books. It was still like literature. Also read a couple books like for history class. I'm not sure if there were any other big ones I read books for. I think maybe I took like a philosophy class I read a book for.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I guess they don't really make you read too much in public school. Is that what you're telling me?
But it's not like
not like literature, not a novel.
Right. Like for our
Well,
history classes were mainly like textbooks and reading.
Let me throw out some names for you that I feel like to me are very common high school books, and you'll tell me if they're a no.
I know one that is my favorite book.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
No, we're not there yet. I'm having fun. I want to play a game.
Okay.
Great Gatsby.
Yes.
I actually don't think I read this in high school, but Huckleberry Finn.
No.
Mark Twain. I don't know.
No.
Catcher in the Rye.
No.
Okay, I feel like that's a big one. I mean, I think this is maybe a big one. 1984.
Yep.
I did Frankenstein. Did you ever do that? Or
yes, that might have been college.
Yeah, I don't know. Could have been. Could have been. Those are To Kill a Mockingbird. How about that?
Nope.
Never read To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, I feel like that's actually I might have done that in middle school actually.
Was that one?
But yeah,
I think that might have been outlawed in our school.
Why? Because they're racist?
Yeah.
Because they are racist? The book is not racist.
Then it might not be the book.
Right?
Because our school, we were in that.
You would ban that book if you are racist.
There was a transition year that any book that had like racial.
How south? Where did you go to school in Jersey?
I went to school in Bridgewater.
I know. So what?
No, but
they
anything...
had banned books.
it was a transition. Like they were bringing in like more modern books and pushing out like some of the classic stuffs.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That book is not like that's not an offensive.
I don't
book.
remember if that's the book or not. Like,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Okay.
But Great Gatsby, I've actually went back and like reread that book. That is one of my favorite books that we've read in school.
Nice and short.
That is a quick book. We did, like I said, that one year we read like a lot of Shakespeare.
Shakespeare is the other really big one, which almost the thing that's weird about Shakespeare is that they teach it in school like a book, but it was written to be seen on a stage.
It was so weird because like, do they make you read out loud with that stuff?
Sometimes.
Because for Shakespeare, like I remember that, like because I hate reading out loud. That's we don't have that in common.
You just read that out loud. How'd you make it feel?
I hate it.
You hated it?
But like, so like they would like assign roles in the class, and you would read it from your seats. But that was always difficult because each of our classes were between 30 and 40 students. So it was like,
I don't know if I did that with Shakespeare specifically. More like other novels, you just be like, can you read this passage? Then someone else reads the next passage. What about a little? I didn't do too much of this, but a little Edgar Allan Poe.
No, that was definitely college.
I did a little bit of that. Like we had to memorize one of the poems for a class. I think it was the Annabelle Lee poem, but I don't remember it now.
My freshman year of college, I took a horror literature class.
That sounds.
I think that might have been where
stupid.
Frankenstein and like a bunch of those.
I think my junior year. One of those years I did an English literature. Was specifically that's why Frankenstein. I forget what else went with it.
Now we did read. So I did take a media communications course where like every week we were assigned a movie script, and we would have to read, break down, and
Are my
annotate.
feet on camera? My little feet.
No, you're good. Oh, now they. Oh, no.
That's a little extra for the Patreon, baby. I like those toes wiggling.
We have to read and annotate a film script.
That's not what this subject's about.
That's a book.
Fuck you.
If Shakespeare's a book, so is
I already know it's not.
Oh, okay.
They're not books. They're not books. We already had the show about what's a book.
Is that a book? Are you a book?
That's another discussion. Now, see, I think the problem is I want to say one of my favorite books, probably my favorite book I read in high school would be 1984. But I feel like that's a cheat because I actually had read it before school, so I didn't get introduced to it. So I think the real answer I'm going to give is a book called The Stranger. Don't make a joke. I don't know.
What is it about?
So it's a French book, L'étranger would be the French title. It's basically about a guy who is extremely detached from life and doesn't feel anything and goes around and just doesn't give a shit. And I really related to that guy. So that was one of my favorites. I really remember enjoying that more than some of my other books. So those are maybe my top two.
Looking up just the summer reading list from like
the way my high school did summer reading was it was more of a fun, more of a modern book they would pick.
Okay.
Like one year it was Wicked, one year it was a Michael Crichton book. That might have been college actually, but I think one year I think my freshman year Marley and Me was the was the book we read. It was more something like not.
I'm trying to remember. There was a book that we read. It's like not Curious Case of Benjamin Button, but it was like a Curious Case of a Dog in the Nighttime.
I remember that. Yes, that is the name of the book. Or Curious Incident
of the Dog in the Nighttime.
I can't remember if I read that or if it was just on a list. I feel like that was
like the new book that like all the schools had to read for that era.
It was like for some reason they latched onto that.
But like everybody, like they had stacks of it at like Barnes and Noble, and they're like, there you go.
Yeah. What about least favorite?
The one book we did read, what was it? The interview Tuesdays with Maury. That was a
Jew book?
Really good. I don't know. That was a really good.
Oh, it's not like about Jewishness.
It was about some old a reporter from a newspaper going over and
thinking something else then.
a guy named Maury every Tuesday until the guy died.
I haven't read that.
Flowers from Algernon. We read that in school.
I think I did read that. For Algernon.
Is it for?
I think so. Is it from? I don't know. I think it's one of them.
But also, like a lot of these books, it was like I'm not reading these to enjoy them. I'm reading them because we have to get a grade for it.
That's the hard thing, I think, because the education system in America, I think, is bad, and I do think there's a mentality that it's very hard to overcome. Where even if a lot of books that I think if I read them that I read in high school now, I might really like them.
Right.
But at the time, I'm just like, oh my, I'm not just reading this for fun. I have to study it. I have to take a
Right.
test.
I have to remember
I have to
things
write
on
an
it.
essay, and I want to play video games. So
Right.
the cards are stacked against these books where I'm more likely to not enjoy it.
So I'm looking through because there's definitely books that I remember. The Outsiders, that was a good one.
I don't read that one.
There's a movie they made it too.
What about Faulkner, Sound and the Fury? That's one I read.
It rings a bell. Animal Farm. That's a
That
good
too
one.
I read. I read that when I was like, I don't even mean this to be, I'm not trying to sound smart or anything, but like when I was a kid, I loved that book. Like,
Well, because
it's my
I wonder if
favorite
you
book.
saw because there was a cartoon of it. I wonder if it was like you saw.
I think
or,
probably just my mom bought it for me or something. But it's a like relatively it's accessible book. I was just going off something. I mean, Shakespeare, I do enjoy, even though I wasn't.
Right.
I haven't read most of Shakespeare.
Well, I think we read the basic stuff.
I did Othello. I honestly can't remember that many. I think in high school I only read like one or two Shakespeare plays. Wasn't a big thing.
But then, like,
the Odyssey. We read the Odyssey in high school. That was pretty cool.
That's a big one.
And Beowulf, I think, was in there.
I feel like
it's
Beowulf. It's just like, welcome to high school. Here's your book.
yeah.
What's the one? It was like the kids. It might be Land of the Flies.
Lolita.
Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
That's
yes.
a great. That one is really fun. That's like.
But I feel like that's
read.
that's a book that they like. That's just part of high school. Something's been written.
Yes, that is definitely one of the bigger ones. That's also just entertaining. Like it's not
right.
even.
It's just a good book.
Oh, The Crucible. That's a play too. We did that.
Yeah. Now, did your school also do like a lot
Books
of
are
times
fun.
we would read the book.
Oh, and watch
and
the
then
movie.
watch the movie afterwards.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times I would like that, but I always like remembering back. It's like we used to watch a feature-length movie in 45-minute increments during a week, and then have to like how
That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Did you do double periods in high school or no?
No.
Oh yeah,
We had 45-minute periods.
Once a week for me. Each class got a double block.
Which so graduated high school, went to teaching school to become a teacher, and then went back and did student teaching. And it was so weird going to a
You're supposed to teach the students.
going on a college schedule from like where your classes are like an hour to 3 hours a week to like you're in a thing for 45 minutes. You're like, that's done. How do you teach anything in 45 minutes? You don't.
Yeah, you don't. That's why I didn't learn anything. Did you? I don't think I took more than maybe one like required English class in college. So I really didn't read books. I don't have any college books besides like textbooks and maybe a couple like philosophy or like things like that, but not like just literature books.
I feel like all of our college classes were like English courses for writing or like paired off into your subjects. So like for mine, it would be like writing, but you're in film school. So it'd be script writing. If you're a teacher, it's like how to teach writing.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a very detailed, specific literature class.
Yeah.
And what are they? Were your classes just called lit, or were they English class?
I think it changed it. I think I did both.
Because ours were all just called lit. Lit 1, Lit 2, Lit 3, Lit 4.
Well, then it makes even less sense because that should just be literature. But you had a whole year where you didn't read any. But
then,
yeah.
like, the whole public school thing, it's like, like I didn't take history classes all 4 years. Like, there's requirements that you have to take in a public school where it's like, I took math 3 years because I took a science my last year. And it's like, it's weird requirements in public schools where I think private schools get around that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember like books I read in middle school either. But a lot of these intertwine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying. I don't think like I think I never read. They never had us read any Charles Dickens. Like I feel like there's a few big ones that are kind of. I'm surprised you didn't read Catcher in the Rye. Although if they didn't want you to read To Kill a Mockingbird, they probably didn't want you to read Catcher in the Rye either.
But I remember like they were like getting rid of a lot of the classics, and I remember the PTA being upset about that. Because I agree with this. Bring in some modern stuff to keep kids entertained, but also like.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I don't know what the curriculum should be,
And I don't even know what they're teaching. Like they could be doing brand new books now.
but there's certainly things you can value, but like what you should learn from a book. I think most of
Right.
it to me, the issue is the approach more than the
Of how they
material.
right.
Like these books should be fun. Like you said, like The Great Gatsby should be fun to read,
Right.
but a lot of times they introduce it in a way that is very boring, and they don't make it clear to kids why this is important. It's just like, this is just a thing, memorize it, do it.
Right.
And then you're like, this sucks because it sucks.
Because I remember there was also some, I can't remember much about it, but there was some weird, like, slightly horror book where it's like the kids were like in underground tunnels and like there was like creatures they were dealing with. And it was super weird because like this shouldn't be a school book. This is like something I would have read, like a
I have no idea.
almost Goosebumps style book.
I read a lot of those in school. Does that count?
And then we also used to have like, I guess it was like maybe middle school, but like Deer Time. It was like,
Oh yeah, that was
I don't
elementary
remember
school.
what it
Elementary
was.
school. Drop everything
Thing
and read.
right? Okay.
We used to, I don't know if that's just a New Jersey thing or if that was nationwide.
And
but
then did your school, you used to get the
book it. Yeah, of course.
well,
the Pizza Hut. Yeah.
I never did the Pizza Hut thing because we didn't have a local Pizza Hut.
Oh, your childhood sucked.
We used to have the Arrow books and the Scholastic book things that we used to
Oh,
get.
the book
we used to
fair was
get
the
there was
peak.
book fair.
Book orders.
Well, we had both.
Yes,
those
both.
were both
Yes,
fun.
both were incredible.
Now, did I get anything that was good there? No, I got the Garfield Fat Pack
yes,
packs.
Mad Libs,
Erasers that
Guinness
didn't
World
erase
Records, Sea Monkeys.
anything. Scratch and Sniff stickers.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Animorphs.
Sure, Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
All about all of that stuff. The book orders used to be, that was my first experience of every day coming into class and being excited for, am I gonna, because if it came in, every desk had like a bag on it with your
Right.
stuff.
Which was weird.
Best
like,
day of my life when that
it
happened.
was so weird. I guess the school got like a kickback
You didn't have Amazon.
or something, but like
Yeah,
we had
they
bookstores.
Yeah, but it encourages kids to read, and I'm sure they get a fucking percentage, and they
I'm sure
charge
that's how
you
the
up the
school
ass.
like funded their library.
yeah. The school does
There's
all
probably
kinds
some
of shady
corporate
shit.
weird shit behind that. Yeah,
I Spy books, that kind
those
of
are
shit.
fun. But yeah, I would say like we probably read roughly the same books because New Jersey schools, public or private, have to stick to roughly the same
I would think.
curriculum.
And probably most of them want to. Like they've stuck around for
well,
100
and plus,
years.
like, okay, we bought 1,000 of these books.
Well, they'd make us buy them.
Really,
in
you had to
private
buy
school.
your own? Oh, private. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we were just here's your book. Have a good day. Here's your book. Have a good day.
Oh wow, gross!
yeah.
I don't want to touch some old.
Did you guys have
nasty
to buy
school
your
book.
textbooks?
Yeah, for 100%.
No,
I
we
think
got-
even in middle school I had to buy textbooks.
Nope. All of
too.
our textbooks were just given to us on the first day of school.
Oh wow.
Take these home, wrap them in paper, and bring them back, or book socks.
Oh, well, life was rough in the orphanage where you grew up.
That's true.
I mean, I had the book socks,
Oh,
but it was our
I went
books.
to a Blue Ribbon High School.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither did I. There was a big thing on the outside. We're a Blue Ribbon High School.
I think they made that up.
I wouldn't say, it's a
I think it
public
was the
school.
guy around the corner with the chalkboard. I'm not sure you have a degree.
I probably would have been a better education going to the guy around the corner.
So our answers are The Great Gatsby and 1984 or The Stranger.
Right.
Let us know what your favorite books were that you read in high school, or your least favorite. What was something you really, really hated?
Just didn't like them.
Post in the comments here on Patreon. And don't send your money to your college if you're an alum, or to support your local school. Send it to us. Keep sending it to us as you're doing, and we love it on Patreon. We love you.
Yep.
Better, much better.
Go-
Educate us.
Go read a book.
We need to buy more books because we
need
are
to buy more books.
stupid.